This is Alex,
and this is The Drop.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. This is Alex.
This is Lewis,
and this is The Drop. Man, it is good to be back. Welcome back to all of our listeners, to everyone that's been following. And if this is your first episode ever, you're late to the party. No, I'm kidding. Go back and watch all the other episodes that are uploaded. But it's so exciting, man. And Lewis, how are you, man? Before anything, man, how's
I'm good, man. Life is good. It's not perfect, but you gotta take the good things and keep it moving forward.
Yeah,
but it's good. It's a very exciting season right now in my life. So I'm just taking advantage, trying to enjoy it as much as I can.
That's dope.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just enjoying life as well. And taking it day by day, man. Just keeping busy. That's it, man. Just
busy.
Keeping busy. So thank you for asking. Thank you guys for listening. This is not no, man. So today we're gonna be talking about stewardship, man.
Yep.
Stewardship, one of those fancy church words.
I don't even know what that means. What it means?
Stewardship means steward. And I'm kidding. So steward, in my words, stewardship is managing what you have.
Yes.
I've heard you say that. Taking care of what you have.
Yes.
And I like that word, managing what you have, and whatever that is, whatever it is that you possess, being a good steward or being a good manager of what it is you have. We're going to talk about that today. There's many different types of people that listen to this from what we've known, and we're hoping that you can leave today with some tools to be able to manage what you have in a better way, so
become a better manager.
Yeah. And again, stewardship is one of those fancy church words. We're so churchy. For me, when I tell people let's hang out or let's just what you doing today so we can just chill, I was just like, hey, what you doing? You want fellowship? It's like, man, just what does that even mean? Fellowship, mad extra.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we want to talk today about. If you watch all our episodes, you know that we always have a biblical story. And we have John chapter 6, man. We're going to break down John chapter 6 today.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, man. John chapter 6 is a very familiar story to some of us, and maybe indirectly you didn't even know where it was found, but you've heard of it. It's a story of the people being fed by bread and fish, right? 5 bread, 2 fish, feed over 5,000 people.
That's insane.
That's crazy to me. So, how is that possible? How can 5 bread and 2 fish feed 5,000 people, or over 5,000 people, but for reference, we'll say 5,000 or a multitude, right? Tons of people. How do we even make sense of that, right? How can we make that practical in the sense of managing what you have? So I don't know, man. What do you have? Maybe we can kind of set a foundation of.
I think.
And make it practical to the listeners.
I think. Well, in this story, you have Jesus in the mix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus does his thing. He prays over it, and it multiplies, and they're able to feed those thousands of people. That's the easy answer, right? Jesus was there, so of course Jesus made it happen. But something that he did was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but something that he did was he took the fish, took the bread, and he broke it into pieces, right? He didn't just throw it in a basket and that's that. He broke it into pieces as if almost like, let's make the best that we can with what we have, right? And let's leave the rest, the other part to God, right? If they would have broken into small pieces, they would have probably fed maybe, let's just say stretching it, like 10, 15 people, right? But they fed thousands of people. So I think, one of the things that we should focus on, or one of the things we'll probably mention when it comes to being a good management, is doing the best that you can with what you have. Sometimes we focus too much on, if I had more money, I would be able to do this. If I had more money, I'll donate to a charity, or I'll donate to church. No, you can still donate. For instance, to say that's an example, you can still donate to church or charity or whatever it is that you want to spend money on with the amount that you have. Right. You just have to be a good manager. You have to learn how to manage that.
Right.
Okay. The issue that we have, especially, I live in New York, so I feel like something that we do. People that live in the city, they live on a budget that's not realistic, right? If they make, I'm just throwing any number out there, if they make every week, let's just say $200, I don't know, right? They make $200 every week, their expenses are double or triple that, right? So of course, right, you're always going to be in debt, right? You're always going to live beyond your means. Okay, so but becoming a good management is, you know what, I only make $200 a week, so I have to make sure that I save $10 or $20, right, and learn how to live on the 80% of that, or whatever is remaining on that. You know, learning how to manage and learning to do what you can with what you have.
That's good. That's so good. And sticking in that topic of money, right? I believe I was talking to my wife the other day. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever done this. I drive by and I see a billboard and I see the lotto, right? It's like $10 million or $100 billion, whatever it is today.
I find it funny that always someone from the South always ends up winning. I think the whole lotto thing is fixed. That's my opinion.
Well, I'm moving.
Anyway.
I'm trying to move down south. No, I'm kidding. And then, I don't know about you if you do this, I start thinking of what I can do with that money.
Yes.
Like, oh man, if I had this, some people are very, they're very humble. I'll donate to tons of charity, and I'll give this much to my family. I'll buy everyone out, and they begin to bless everyone else before they bless themselves. But one of the principles in management, or just the principles in life, I believe that if you don't do what you say you're gonna do with the money you have now, you're not gonna do that with the money you have later. And I think that if you're not, like you said it earlier, if you're not donating now, it's not because you're unable to. It's because either your management or your, what we're calling stewardship, you're not doing that now with the money you have now. You're not spending the way within your means, the way you need to. So what makes you think that with $1 million you're gonna do that?
You don't know how to handle $10. What makes you think you don't know how to handle $100?
And that's amazing to me that it's a biblical principle. Like they have the 5 bread and 2 fish to feed all these thousands of people, because I think we get lost in quantity. As a culture, we get lost in the amount. If we have this amount, then we're able to do this much. But in order for me to get to a certain amount, you have to start here.
Right.
No one starts with X amount of money or millions of dollars to do something. A shout out to my barber. I don't know he watches this, but you don't get a business, you don't get a building just waking up overnight. He started with clippers. He started with passion,
right,
and had to buy some cheap clippers, and then from there, them clippers turned into a building. So you have to start somewhere, and that has to follow you, right? Your whole path. So I think for me, the beginning of that, I think, is just managing what you have now instead of thinking that you're gonna, like, oh, I need a new job. Then I'll start managing my money, right? If I got a promotion, or if no, man, you can do it now.
There's a parable, I believe, in the Bible where it speaks about these workers, right? And they were all given what it refers to as gifts. They were all given something to multiply.
Yeah.
Right, and then when the master comes back, he asks all of them, so what you did with what I gave you. So let's assume that it's like 4 workers or 5 workers, right? He gave one like 5, the other one 10, the other one 15, so on and so forth. So some he gave a little, right, and some he gave a lot more. But there was one of them that I think he only gave him like one or a really small amount, right? And what he did was he took that gift or that thing that the master had given him, and he buried it, right? Because his thought was, I don't want to lose it, or I don't want to do something bad with it. So when the master comes and asks for it, I can just show it back to him and say, look, it's still here, right? However, all the other ones multiplied what they had, right? And because they multiplied it, the parable goes on saying that the master blessed them or gave them more. Right, so that the one that started off with 5 now has 10, right, and gave them more to manage it. So I feel like in life in general, although that is a biblical parable that is used, I think in life in general works that way. If you don't know how to manage, right, again, the $10 or the $20, you're not going to manage $200, or you're not going to get to that next step. So being a good, and not only regarding money, but also energy. Right, energy. Like, you can work hard at something and stay in the same place, or you can work hard for something and move on up, right?
Make sure you tune in to our next episode as we continue with Stewardship.
This is the drop.